Hey, I'm Tony, and this is Tony's Tractor Adventure, and I am here with Hank from Hank Hamilton YouTube channel, another tractor channel. If you see my videos on TYM tractors, you're probably seeing some of his videos. So I'm going to be right up front with you guys. I am plagiarizing his video. All right. Not even trying to hide it. He's right here with me.
That's right.
What we're going to do, we're at a show in Augusta, Maine, and we're going to walk you around and show you the prices. So let's start this video out with the goal. What I'm doing is going to be comparing the TYM T224 to the Kubota BX2380. This come out of a conversation between Hank and I. He has a TYM T224, and he's got several videos on it on his YouTube channel, and I'm going to leave them. I'll leave the link at the end of this video. We recently picked up a T224 as well. Hank's got a lot more videos, but I hope to compete with him soon. So I'm going to start out by comparing the base TYM T224 with a loader and R4 tires, and the base Kubota BX2380 with a loader and R4 tires. So we will compare the lift capacity and the capacity of the tractors, and then we'll put the price for the tractor at that point. And then as we add options, we will then give you the price overall. So I have the specs of the tractors pulled up in front of me just to compare side by side. And I think this is going to be very helpful. The Kubota is running a Kubota engine, and the TYM is running a Yanmar engine. Both are known to be exceptionally good engines, so there's no issue there. The horsepower of the Kubota is running 21.6 horsepower, and the horsepower of the TYM is running 21.5 horsepower. So horsepower is basically exactly the same. Each one of the engines run 3,200 RPMs at, to make the maximum horsepower, and both of them are 3-cylinder diesels. Let's talk about the hydraulic systems. Kubota uses a hydraulic pump that has a pump output at 6.2 gallons per minute, and TYM uses a hydraulic pump that puts out 6.7 gallons per minute. For my first-time tractor owners, what this translates into is that the faster the gallons per minute, the quicker that your implements will move at an idle. Also, for things like grapples, these are small tractors now, they have the ability to have grapples. It will open the grapples quicker based upon the flow rate. So the higher flow rate of the TYM is going to be an advantage. Both tractors have power steering, and I've driven both of them, and they are both very responsive. Moving on to lift capacities, both TYM and Kubota use the same metrics for measuring the lift capacity. It's 24 inches behind the pin. Kubota is 680 pounds at 24 inches behind the pin, and TYM is 679. So 1 pound difference. Reality is they're basically the same. Let's move on to the loaders, and we'll cover a couple of things on this, which we'll start out with lift capacity. The lift capacity of the Kubota loader with skid steer quick attach is 613 pounds. That's the lift capacity. The TYM is 617 pounds with skid steer quick connect. However, there is a important note here is that the TYM comes standard with the skid steer quick connect. And if you add that feature to the Kubota, it's over $1,000 more for that feature. That's something to think about. However, there are other things to think about. The Kubota uses a loader control valve that is mounted into the right fender, which I feel is more ergonomic. And the TYM uses a loader mounted valve system, and there's some attributes to that as well. It's like in the future, once the warranty's go, if you have any, if you have to work on it, it's very easy to get to. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more mechanically friendly to work on than the ones mounted in the fender. And that's the same for all brands. The transmissions in both tractors are very similar in concept. They both are 2-range forward, 2-range reverse. They also have a mid PTO and rear PTO. The difference is that Kubota uses an aluminum transmission case and TYM uses cast iron. And in the industry, cast iron is considered to be better and longer lasting. Having said that, I wouldn't let that be a deterrent because there are literally millions of the small Kubotas that are years old that are still working. I think Kubota has got the aluminum thing figured out, and they've compensated through proper engineering. I'm not going to dive off in the dimensions and weights because the tractors are almost identical in every way, within just a inch or half inch of length and width. And the TYM does come in a few pounds heavier. However, I mean, the difference is minuscule. Both tractors have big tractor features like wet disc brakes, and both of them go 8.4 miles per hour at max speed. Before we move on to the pricing, we'll talk about the loader connectability. Both tractors are basically the same. Once you become proficient with it, you should be able to get your loader off within about 3 to 5 minutes. It's important on both of them to make sure that you take the loaders off on level ground. I guess it's now time to compare the prices between the tractor, R4 tires, and loader. We'll start at that point, and then we'll move forward from there. I've always heard that orange paint costs more, but considering the warranties are the same, I was rather surprised at the price difference between these two models. One of the things that I found really surprising is that Kubota charges $84 extra so that you can have a load leveler indicator on your loader. This just comes standard with TYM. The base Kubota tractor without a loader, without anything extra, is $3,000 more than the entire package of the TYM T224. When you add the loader, the skid steer quick attach, the load leveler indicator, you have a grand total of $20,026. This really surprised me, more so than I expected. When a subcompact is sold, 99% of the time, it'll leave the dealership with a loader and a mower deck. Let's see what the price differences is here. To make sure there's apples to apples, this is a 54-inch drive-over deck for both models. I would note that this price is less than the tractor by itself for Kubota. The Kubota comes in at $23,033 compared to the $15,300 of the TYM. Now we're going to get into a territory that I'm not really that familiar with because we live in Tennessee. These are the cabs for the small subcompact tractors. Well, in Tennessee, we get very hot in the summer, and these cabs have only heat, and they do not have air conditioner. TYM comes standard with roof lights front and rear, and you can see the price, $18,500 for the tractor, loader, and cab. And also, if you see the bottom price there is $25,597 at SR1 in Maine. That includes a PTO-driven front snowblower and a rear box blade. At $27,866, you get the cab, the tractor, and the loader in this situation. It just amazes me, the price difference. I had no idea with TYM, the pricing, and a good solid dealer, you can get an entire snow operation. And I would point out that in this picture, it shows a snow blade, and that is not included. That is an additional expense. So I don't want this to seem like a Kubota bashing session because it's not, but I am surprised when you look at the warranties between the two pieces of equipment and the fact that, TYM is not new anymore. They've been in the United States for 17 years or so. They've been making tractors for 70 years. So they're not a new tractor company. And honestly, they make a lot of tractors for other manufacturers. I was, after doing this research, surprised at the price difference, and I thought it was worth a video. I would appreciate your comments, and be nice. We can be civil. And listen, God bless. Have a great day.